Today, we're going to answer an IRS Form W4 question for married filing jointly with multiple jobs, but there's a new job and they have kids. So here's the question. So I need to make adjustments to my W4 form, but I am confused. So I hold two jobs and my wife holds one. We will be filing jointly and we have two children. My question is, to make these changes, do we have to fill out these three new W4 forms? And if so, do we fill them out in the exact same way? So that's a great question. What do? You have to fill them all out, but let's make this a little bit easier because you don't want to fill them out just looking at the page. You don't want to just pick up the IRS Form W4 and say, okay, this is what I'm going to put here, put it on all three. No, don't do that. Watch, we're going to go through the online estimator. Now, I already filled it out just to show you exactly what you need to do, but I also want to point some very important things out here. So this is the online estimator. I put in three separate jobs. That's where you want to put them in. So if you're married filing jointly on that first page, go ahead and fill out married filing jointly. And then on that second page, go ahead and enter in all three jobs using your most recent pay stubs. Then when you're going to get to the end, you're going to have the results for all three W4 forms, 1, 2, and 3. And those will be pre-filled. So let's say that we clicked on this first one here, and we're going to take a look at it really quickly. And we're going to see that it's going to have a number here, 367. Remember, they have two kids, 0 here. There's nothing going here, given what I put in. So you might fill this out, and it might put a different number in there. But it's highly likely that it's not going to put exactly 2,000 because there's usually like adjustments that need to get made. And that is what's going on here. So even though there is no math for the two kids, even if they're under these limits, like I just put in, would it fill it out there? No. So if it's blank, put 0, put nothing. And then just go ahead and fill out this top portion and sign it. Here's the why. I want to show you the why so you can really wrap your mind around this and understand it. And here's what's also really important, that if you just go ahead and say, you know what, I need to make an additional withholding of $367. That's what we just saw on that W4 form. You might actually be surprised that your next paycheck doesn't actually align with that amount. The reason is because most people overlook this part. They overlook this part on the W4 that says your standard withholding is $343 per paycheck, and we're going to do an additional $367. Now, don't always assume that you're currently withholding $343 and it's just going to make that adjustment by $367. It could have been entered in a different way on your previous W4. The point being is it could be vastly different than just the $367. And that's because there's a standard withholding. What is the standard withholding? It's this right here. It's whatever you actually earn. So this job, there's three jobs here. So this one pays $10,550, this one $21,550. And I just made these numbers up to show you. And this one pays $100,000. But if we look right here, married filing jointly for 2023 is $100,000, and that's $8,236. I'm going to bring my calculator up, but 8,236 divided by 24 pay periods is $343. That's the standard. That's where they're getting it. Now, if we adjusted how we were getting paid, whether it's biweekly, monthly, weekly, whatever, that number would adjust. But it's based on your taxes and your filing status. So your filing status and how much you're earning at that job. Then after that, that's where those adjustments come in. So if we look at this paycheck calculator, again, I already set this up to show you that it's right there, $343. No other adjustments are being made. So if you basically hand in a W4 form with all zeros, nothing filled out, that's what you can expect. $343 based on being paid semi-monthly with a salary of $100,000 as married filing jointly. So that is how the standard's calculated. That's what you've got to be careful of. If you get a new job, yes, go ahead and fill them all out. I'm not saying that there's not a way you can rework these numbers if you're going to take the time to go through them, but the online estimator will just spit out these numbers as is. There's no other adjustments. Meaning if you wanted more taxes withheld on one job versus the other, that's on you. You're going to have to figure out that math. It's possible to figure it out, but if you're not familiar with this stuff, it might be a little bit more of a headache than it's worth. So in this instance, I suggest going through the online estimator with all the jobs, including that new job, and then go ahead and resubmit all your IRS Form W4s. And then on the next paycheck, just verify that those are the actual amounts withheld, or you could get a tax surprise at the end of the year, whether or not you have to pay or get a refund. So hopefully that's helped. If you have questions, go to our Discord channel, answering more and more questions every day. It's relatively new. It's still free for now, but go ahead and get into the server. And once you're in the server, it'll be free for you forever. Hope you enjoy. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.